Hello and welcome to episode 40 of this Blender Unity Crash Course. This episode we're going to be doing special effects. So we're going to look at sounds and some special effects. So first of all, go to the Unity Asset Store. They have some of their own particle packs and they're really good. And they're free. So head to the Unity Asset Store. Come down to this one right here. You can just type in particles and it'll give you this, even without the free pricing option, it'll still give you these on the first page. So this Unity Particle Pack right here and the Unity Particle Pack 5.x. So what you want to do is open a new project in Unity and import both of these into that project. They have a chance to destroy your current project if you do import them in, so just keep that in mind. Make sure you open a brand new project, just call it like particles or something, and import both of these packages into that. Once you do that, go into your game folder of that particular Unity project, go into assets, and right here, this effects example, you want to drag this into your game project. Drag it into under the assets. Now, you might get an error pop up in your console. If you do, you just need to go to Window, Package Manager, and update your post-processing, because these two particle packs have some scripts that help them out in that sense, but you need the latest version of post-processing. So 3.1.1. Okay, make sure you import that. Once you've done that, you should get a bunch of really cool effects here. We go under Fire and Explosion. So the newer ones I think are better, but I mean, you can use whatever you want. Just go down to Prefabs. And here's a bunch of stuff. So I think this explosion here will be good for the TNT. Yeah, this gives some like rigid body pieces of wood kind of fly out. So I think that'll be cool for our TNT. Next, you can create a new folder here called Audio. Right? Inside mine, I've created a folder called Free Sound. If you go to freesound.org, you can sign up for free. And it's a great place to look for sound effects for your games, music, all kinds of stuff. But you want to make sure that you credit any sound artist that you you're going to use their stuff from. So just a huge shout out. I did a quick look. I didn't have to look very hard, and I found some really quality stuff. So huge shout out to Based Media, Dabroid, Matrix XX_, Rian Saba, Moot McNoodles, Noise Collector, Rocotilos, The Real ISA, Emin Yildirim, Magnus Waker, SGAK, 7103, Odin, Michaelness, Samuel Cable, Kevin Case, and Sauer. Thank you so much, guys, for the awesome sound effects. Make sure you credit them somewhere in your game if you end up using these anywhere else, or in this project as well, obviously. Like I said, quality stuff. So if you want, I'll just click these. You can go ahead and find the same sound effects if you like. Under their name, with this number in the front, you will find the same sound effect. Just quickly, in case anybody wants to find them. Okay, just pause the video, find that number under the artist's name. Okay, now .wav files are the best thing to use. For music, any of these clips now, you can click them, you can play them right here. Very cool. Alright, so now what we can do is we can add some sound effects and some special particle effects to our explosions here. So we go to our prefabs. Let's drag in our TNT crate first. Whoops, the broken one. So maybe initially we want this to play that big explosion. So let's go to Fire and Explosion Effects. Prefabs. Now you can affect all of these in many different ways. So let's have a look down here through the all the parameters. So you bring in, you can create a particle effect just by right-clicking and saying 3D object. No, effects, sorry. Particle system. Okay, and you get these white wisps coming off. Let me just destroy that obnoxious explosion. Yeah, so you get this this right here. Basically, this is just using a 2D texture with a transparent background. It's the best way to create particles. So you can change the most important parameters, I would say, are emission, basically how much it spits out. You want to play with all of these, so you have a max particles. If I say 100, the lifetime is going to matter then, right? So it gives them a lifetime from start to finish. Basically a bunch of little utility scripts that we've kind of created ourselves with the deactivate object and the spin and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And you come down through all these, the shape, basically how it emits. So you can go donut, right? And you can see, if you got your gizmos on, you can see, well, I guess it doesn't matter for a particle effect, you can see the shape of it right there. So cone is popular. Sphere, probably do something like that. Maybe we'll make our own for our coin. But anyway, yeah, you come down through all these. The renderer here this is where you select the material, so we can actually add anything we want here. Right, and this is just our own textures. That's from the crate. Fun. So for now, yeah, let's just use Unity's particles here because they're very awesome. So let's go with this big explosion. Okay, let's put this in the broken TNT crate. The bottom is fine. I just want to make sure this is at 0, 0, 0, just so it sits in the middle of it. Maybe we even want it to be up a little bit. It might be a little bit huge, but I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to deactivate this for a second. Okay. Add component audio source. Okay. Audio source is basically just a sound coming off of this object. You can choose if it's 2D or 3D. So obviously for music, we'll leave it at 2D, so it just plays properly in the left and right speakers. In Spatial Blend 3D, basically it will play through the headphones or the speakers depending on where it is with regards to your camera. So we can change the max and min distance, basically how far away we can be while still hearing it at max volume. I think maybe 50 is okay for this. Yeah. Should be good. Okay, and I have some clips here, explosion clips. Let's just have a look at these. This one might be better. Let's go with this one. Shout out to Magnus Walker one more time. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the audio source, drag this in. You have some options here, play on awake or loop. So for music, we'll probably loop it, but we don't want to do that to this explosion. And play on awake is just play as soon as this is active. So that's what we want to do. Okay, I want to go overrides. Okay, it added the audio source and the big explosion particle effect. Cool. We can delete this after we apply that. Save. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I'm sorry. I deactivated it. We did get an explosion. I deactivated the explosion. My bad. Okay, so that should give us a cool effect now. Boom. And we'll hurt ourselves as well. Okay, so that's a looping. Okay, so just come down to this big explosion. Uncheck looping. You want to come down, open up the parent. It's got some other particles inside of it. Obviously, that's not just one, right? So you want to just make sure none of these loop. Looks like all of them do. Just say no looping on all of it. No looping on the light, no looping on the parent. Good. Okay, so that should work out. Ba-boom. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so we have a TNT explosion there. We could set the audio source to be random. We'll check that out in a little bit. Maybe we want just a little collapse effect on our on these cubes here. We'll do like a big firework crazy one for this one here. Maybe we want to do something with this dust storm. Let's try something with this dust storm. So let's go to shape. Change this to 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, it's more like that. So let's do velocity. Let's uncheck velocity over lifetime. You can just kind of see those like that. Maybe they're a little too spread out. So let's go shape, sphere. Change this to 1, 1, 1. Yeah, the duration is what we want to change, I guess. So let's change that to 0.2 maybe. Okay, let's come down to these debris. Change the max particles to 10. Just say dust cloud. Let's create our own prefab out of this one. Let's drag this in. Original prefab. So I just want to go into my prefabs then again. Drag in this broken crate here. And drag in our dust cloud. We want it up a little bit. We can try shrinking it. Using scale on these particle effects isn't the best idea. You should be changing the parameters here. Just a heads up on that. But you can tweak things a tiny bit here and there just to see if they work a little bit better. Okay, let's go to our broken crate. Let's add a little broken audio effect as well. Okay, we went, whoops. Full 3D, 50 max. Let's add these wood clips. Okay, so we can randomize this. Yeah, we could randomize this. So let's do that. Let's go down to our scripts. Create, C# script. Let's say clip randomizer. Yeah, just double click that, open it up. And all we need is a public audio source. Or we'll say audio source. Audio source. Okay, and in the start function we can say get component. So it's going to be on the same one as this. So it's going to take the audio source that's attached to the same game object this one is, be a child or a parent. Sorry, we need to say here audio source equals this. There we go. And I think we'll just say randomize clip. Okay, we can do a public audio clip array. And just call this clips. And we could say int index, so you can state new things here too. You can't say public or private, but you can state them within a function, basically to just tell them to use that in the function only. And we can say random.range. We'll give it a default or a low minimum of 0 and a maximum of clips dot length. So however many we have in our clips here. We might want to say -1 there. Nope, that'll work. So random.range, if you use integers, if it's an integer, it won't ever touch the maximum number. Okay, basically that's okay there. So then we can say if, or we could say audio source dot clip equals clips, and we'll take in whatever our index randomized to. And then we'll say audio source dot play. We'll actually stop it at the start here, just in case there's a clip already on it and it takes a second to switch them. Don't want a weird sound. And right here we'll say randomize clip right at the start, as soon as it's active. We could actually change this to void on enable. There we go. That should work. Okay, so that we can attach this to anything, plug in however many clips we want, and it should randomize between all of them. So if we go to our broken crate, add component, clip, randomizer, clips. Sorry, so I think I'll use 4 here. Go down to, shout out to Kevin Case, these are great sounds. Let's use the back 4 here. Okay, so that should give me a totally random sound whenever I break a crate. I'll just make sure I apply those overrides. Okay. Delete. Now let's try. So it gives our little cloud puff, and we're getting our random sounds. Very cool.